Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. My husband recently surprised me with a day trip to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and we visited the Penn State Master Gardeners Demonstration and Idea Gardens. And as we walked around the gardens, I was just so blown away at how they had everything set up, how they had paired everything together, how the gardens were so relatable. We were there in early August, and it was the perfect timing because, as you can see, the monarch butterflies were just flying all around. I was enjoying myself to the fullest. And I loved how they had signage everywhere explaining all the different gardens. They had the native growing plants there, so you could see how to pair things together. I really took away from these gardens how relatable this was. Now, I love visiting big gardens and well done, well manicured gardens and everything like that. But this particular garden was so very relatable. And they had just native plants paired together with, you can see here, some perennial hibiscus. And then they had these here, you're seeing phlox. But then they had, you'd come upon a standing of corn. And then you'd come upon tomatoes in cages and just so well done. And you can see here the black-eyed Susans, the pollinator garden, and they just had it set up that you can go there and get ideas of how you can come home and incorporate these things in your garden. Quite a few of the master gardeners were there that day, and there was hardly anyone else there except my husband and I. He actually got a business phone call, so you're probably hearing him in the background during our time there. But the master gardeners, several of them were there. They were busy working and tending to all of the plants and the crops and everything like that. But and they had just signs that explained how to draw in the pollinators, how to pair the vegetables together. They had square foot gardening, gardening in small spaces. I loved how they had, you can see the borders there, and they had things mixed within the borders. Everything was so well done and so pleasing to the eye. There were a lot of plants and a lot of pollinator plants, a lot of vegetable plants, all mixed together, but it wasn't like your eye wasn't able to rest. You could rest your eyes on different plants and really focus on them, and it was just a very peaceful garden setup. I came home with so many ideas because this really is my dream garden. If you've seen my garden in the past, if you've seen any of my garden tours, you've seen how I have different setups. I have, cut flower garden. I have pollinator gardens. But the way that they had this set up made me want to come home and just kind of change everything. Now, of course, I had to calm down a little bit and scale myself back and be thankful for what I have. But this garden, just my main takeaway was it was extremely relatable, and it was something within my reach to bring home these ideas. So if you get the opportunity to go to Lancaster County, definitely put this on your list. They have the demonstration garden open from June the 1st until August 31st. So I do love how they have annuals paired. You can see the vegetables growing there, but they have annuals. And we know that, of course, vegetable plants love flowers because the flowers bring in the pollinators, which help pollinate and help your vegetables to grow. But they just had so many things mixed in together. Look at the tomatoes there. They were beautiful. And this, like I say, was the 1st of August. Usually by then, my tomato plants are like, ready to do something else. But I just love how they have everything paired. And of course, they have signage saying that they don't use any synthetic pesticides. I don't think they even use any organic pesticides or anything like that. They just let the good bugs do their job, and then they take care of the bad bugs. And so I just really, really thoroughly enjoyed being here. I'm going to let you enjoy the footage here for just a couple of minutes, and then I'll jump back in and we'll talk about some of the other areas that you were able to go and view. And so enjoy for a few more minutes. I'll be back. And if it wasn't enough to get to enjoy the demonstration gardens, you can also walk through all of the trial gardens. And this is the area where lots of different companies, such as Proven Winners, I think I saw Monrovia there, they trial different plants so that they can know what will work, what will grow well for their next selling season. You can see here it just acres and acres of trial plants. There were so many supertunias and petunias, and it just was a feast for the eyes. Look at the colors here. You could walk all through this. You could just take your time. There was no charge for any of these gardens. And I was just, like in plant heaven. Of course, all of us plant lovers would be. I definitely wanted to get a lot of footage in of these petunias and supertunias. For all of you supertunia lovers, it even made me want to start growing them again. I have not grown supertunias or any kind of petunias for the last couple of years just because I'm not willing to spray for the budworms, but it kind of made me want to grow them again. It's just their beauty. Oh, it was just so pretty. And then we come upon my beloved Rudbeckias. I love Rudbeckias so much. I wanted to take some of these home, even though I have quite a bit of Rudbeckia in my garden. But look at the colors. They're just so perfect. I believe this one is Gloriosa Daisy, one of my absolute favorite Rudbeckias. But then again, I think all of the Rudbeckias are my favorite. And look at the echinacea. The colors are just exquisite. So pretty, so perfect. I think they're really hitting a home run with these trial gardens here. I didn't see anything that looked like it wasn't in pristine shape. So I was really, really enjoying myself. And then, just kind of like icing on the cake, right next to all of the trial gardens was a field of sunflowers. And you could just walk through the field of sunflowers. And I took some sunflower selfies and just enjoyed myself so much. So there's so much to see, and just to spend time at these trial gardens and at the Master Gardener's demonstration garden, I honestly could have stayed there all day. I could have sat. There were benches in the demonstration gardens. There were little tables and little seating areas. And I just wanted to stay and hang around just all day. Here, I believe these are super bells, if I remember correctly. I'm not seeing them up close real well, but just the colors were just so magnificent and so beautiful. And then in their hoop houses, they had some idea containers, and they had mixed different flowers together for ideas and what would pair together, what worked well together, what colors worked well together. One whole hoop house full of coleus, just absolutely beautiful. So I definitely came home with a lot of ideas and a lot of inspiration, and it was much needed day trip just to refresh. And sometimes we need to step away from our own gardens and get ideas from other gardens, or maybe it makes us come home and appreciate our gardens more. And so I just want to encourage you, if you ever get the opportunity to visit the Penn State Master Gardeners demonstration and idea gardens, and then you get to see all of these trial plants, definitely you want to do that. It was such an enjoyable day. The weather was absolutely perfect the day we were there. And I just, like I said, could have stayed there all day. I think I'm showing you one of my favorite coleuses there. Anyway, friends, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tour, and I hope you are enjoying your gardens and maybe perhaps getting some ideas from this idea garden. Until next time, friends, happy gardening. Bye-bye.